very important thing to avoid one of the very common mistakes that people do, and it's just really simple and sometimes a bit silly, and it is to... Hello everyone, I am a chartered structural engineer in the UK with over 10 years of experience, and I passed my IStructE exam a few years ago. Today I'm going to go through the IStructE past paper, July 2024, section 1B, and I'm going to try to go through it quickly and show you what the most important things are and, well, the main key things where people fail this section. So the first thing is I try to read the section 1B before I start answering the section 1A. It always gives me clues of what the examiner will be looking for, so it was useful. What I tried to do then is, okay, I read the section 1B and then I write what is it that you're looking for. In this case, it's a letter to write to the client after the design is completed. This is really important because you need to know when the letter is being written. And what they want to do is they want to save material by changing the brief. So I went through the brief and then, okay, these are the main constraints in the brief, and I wrote them down, and that gives me an idea of what is going to be the center point of my letter, what I'm going to be talking about if I have to change the brief. And these are the main constraints that make it more, let's say, difficult to create a simple and light structure. Then those are the things that I'm probably going to change in the brief. Now I start the letter with a template. So it's a formal letter, so you need to have a template of what a formal letter will look like and follow the formal letter format. I write the date, and I try to always practice with the same date that I will be doing the exam, so that I didn't even have to think what day is today. I don't think that's really important actually, but it always, I don't know, I knew that was the date that I took in the exam, and then just get practicing, including that day in my practice test. I read somewhere that it was good to do in the test, but I didn't agree with, was to do sketches to explain better in the letter. The reason why I didn't agree is because sketches definitely help you to explain better, 100%. They just take time, and time is the main thing, the main constraint in the exam. So anything that helps you save time, just do it, save time. And the letter, it's a very, very small section of the exam. The percentage of how much it counts towards the exam is so small. So long as you pass it, it's fine. And I decided not to do sketches so that I could focus my time on other more important sections like section 1A, calculations, and especially the drawings. After I write the main introduction following a formal letter format, just thanking for advising what you want to do. We have reviewed the brief and the design, and this is what we could change, or what we propose it would change. And one of the things is the maximum number of columns in the plan room, because there was a limitation of maximum rooms that you could put in there, which meant the roof then had very long spans. And if you can then increase the number of columns in that section, it means you reduce your span and likely reduce the material. Second point is that the columns could be allowed within the lecture theater. And again, this will also ensure that you can have smaller spans, especially on the plan room. So because between the lecture theater, or below the plan room, the lecture theater, And the plant room is the area with the highest live load. So it's quite heavy what you're going to put in there. And you don't want large, very long spans in that section. Or if you can avoid them, well, then you can save some material. And based on that I just said, because the plant room is where the highest load is, then it's probably, if possible, best to just move the plant room to the ground floor or even a basement. If you, instead of putting it on the top, put it at the bottom, just make it ground bearing. And that means you don't have very long spans that are supporting this quite heavy load. And that's probably what then I say, okay, this is our preferred option. But of course, this is plant room. It's whatever M&E engineers require, and don't know if it will work. So by the end, I put a caveat of, okay, these are our proposals, but you need to check with the M&E designer to make sure that it works, having the plant room at the basement or at ground level. And finally, it's just, okay, you're using a full room as a plant room. Maybe once you know the actual final design of the M&E, where the plant rooms are needed, and you know where the heaviest plants are, then we can limit the, well, heaviest load to a reduced area, and the rest of the plant room can be designed for a smaller load. That's another possibility. One another important thing is to keep it simple. I try to keep it in simple words, as if I'm explaining it to my siblings, my cousins. Just to not make it technical. Say, okay, you have this very heavy load. If you put it at the bottom, it's better than just put it above on the highest level. Now, by the end, I mentioned, okay, well, one thing to note, Mr. Client, is that because the designs are already completed, then if this change goes ahead, then it means that there might be delays. There'll be additional design fees. And it's important that you keep this part very short and do not give so much importance to it. It has to be mentioned because, well, it's our responsibility as designers to let them know. But it doesn't have to be the main point of the letter. And actually, you don't want it to be the main point of the letter. The main point of the letter is to be helpful. So you want to be as helpful as you can. And then mention, this is all that can be done. This is all you can do. This is all we can do. And this is all the ideas. And we would suggest to do this. Just know that, okay, there'll be an additional fee for this, but that is very minor or should be very minor in the letter. And finally, I would say create your own signature because it just makes it more personalized. And one final very important thing to avoid one of the very common mistakes that people do, and it's just really simple and sometimes a bit silly, and it is to do not identify yourself. Do not write your name, do not write your number, your IStructE number or your applicant number, nothing that identifies yourself. If there's anything that identifies you throughout the exam, that's a complete, a fail straight away. You cannot write anything that identifies you. If you do that, they're going to fail you, not only this section, but the entire exam. Anyway, that's the end of this section, and I hope it's helpful, and I'll carry on with the next section on the next video. Thank you.